and we are going to be entering a new series, and it is going to be called The Wonderful World of Instant Pot. As you guys know, if you follow me quite along, I did an unboxing on Sunday night when it arrived here at my house. I was super excited. But also what's going to be happening is we're going to take it from the top to the bottom to all the buttons, and we're going to explore through this new series of what Instant Pot has to offer. But getting into today's recipe, we're going to do an egg roll bowl. Super tasty, super yummy. So you guys follow me on into the kitchen, and we'll go ahead and get started. Alright guys, hello. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'll come into focus real quick. Hello David, and as I can see you guys kind of chiming on in, we'll go ahead and allow a little bit for everybody to kind of jump in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. We've had some technical difficulties again this evening. As always, Facebook decides if it wants to it decides when it wants to work, so we had to log out and log back in, so apologize for my tardiness. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right on in. If you do not panic, if you are actually missing a little bit, you can always see the replay of what I'm getting ready to talk about, and then you'll also be able to rewind, stop, pause, kind of whatever I have going on. So the first thing I'm going to do, this video is going to be a little bit longer than normal, just because I want to make sure that everybody kind of understands what's going on, and I also want people to kind of engage and understand too that this will actually, not necessarily my first or second, but this is the first time that I've actually owned an Instapot of my own. And you're gonna catch me saying Instapot, and it's Instant Pot. So again, guys, if you are gonna watch the replay, not a big deal. Just come join in with us, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So Sunday night, I announced that I had an unboxing, and it was the actual Instant Pot, and it came directly into this big box that I showed you guys, and so it came like this. I ended up getting the Dual Plus 60, and then mine is, they have a 3-quart, a 6-quart, and an 8-quart, and I ended up getting the 6-quart because I felt like that fit our family, and then also I tend to like to cook quite a bit of food, so I ended up getting the 6-quart. And that's what the box came in. Also with this box came quite a few goodies, and I'm going to kind of show you guys, and I'll put this box back here. But this is a box that shows you kind of what it does. We can pressure cook yogurt. It actually acts as a food warmer, a steamer, a rice cooker, a cake maker, slow cooker, and then it says sterilize, and then it also has saute options on here as well. So I do want to let you guys know that we will be going through each one of these steps, so you guys can actually get a feel for what each one of these steps does, and if it actually works the way it says it's going to work. So that's what we'll be walking through for this series. So it's a wonderful world of Instant Pot, not Instapot, it's Instant Pot. And welcome guys, for the guys just joining. Hi Keisha, hi Judy, thanks for joining me. Like I said, if you guys are just joining in, it doesn't matter when you're joining. This will always be on replay. And this video will be a little bit longer than normal just because we're trying out something new. And I want you guys to get the feel of actually what the Instant Pot actually does. So, this is exactly what we're talking about. And I'll leave that back there. But what it came with is this actual kind of steam. This is what I would call putting it on the fish. It comes with a measuring cup. Looks like a rice scooper, and then some type of ladle is exactly. David likes saying Instapot as well. It just wants to roll off your tongue. So these are the things that it actually comes with. We're not going to use any of those tonight. And the other thing that it comes with that I'm going to unplug so you can physically see is this little cup here. And basically what this little cup is going to do is catch the condensation that comes off of here, which you guys will see tonight, with the actual steam. So it actually comes with the Instant Pot, the cord, and the actual removable bowl that goes on the inside as well too. So we'll put that back together. And then I'm going to plug her on in. Okay. All right, and it's going to say off. And it also, Instant Pot also did something really cool. They actually made an actual little book. They do suggest that you read it. It has like all your cooking, setting times, different things you can do in here, what it should look like. It also has getting started and what you should do when you get started. I've already passed all this. I've actually cooked in here going on 4 times now since I've gotten it on Sunday. So you guys, don't skip out on reading this. This is very helpful. It'll also tell you kind of what all these buttons are and what you'll be looking for. Instant Pot also gave us a recipe book, which we will be trying out some of their recipes in here. Some of the more simpler ones. I think the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is if actually this thing can do yogurt. I don't know when I'm looking forward to that. It's just something I'm looking forward to. But they have different recipes in here. Beef roast. They have some coconut fish curry, some asparagus, Brussels sprouts, simple mashed potatoes, which we'll be trying out, mushrooms. I mean, just all different types of things in here, guys. But this also here gives you a rundown, so don't throw this stuff away. It's super, super, super important. Okay, so that's the other thing that it comes with. The last thing that I find that's super helpful that you want to keep on hand and very near and dear to you is this is an Instant Pot Duo Plus. Doesn't matter which one you have. This should come with it's a quick reference guide. And basically what this does is it tells you exactly what is going to be showing up on the screen. And you guys can see that. And this also shows you less, more, normal. And then we'll open this up. And then this will actually show you the pressure cooking programs. So you guys don't want to lose this. You want to make sure that you keep this in nearby, and then it comes in a different language. So this is a pressure cooker cooking program operations, yogurt and sweet fermented rice, pressure cooking, and then on top is just kind of a quick guide to what you would see. Display of keep, yogurt programming, milk is being pasteurized, and then it kind of goes into great detail. All right, so that's pretty much what has come with my Instant Pot. The one thing that I am working on for you guys that you'll see every Tuesday prior to Thursday's live is that I'm working on a nifty kind of handout thing that you can print out that'll be like really colorful and decorative that you can just kind of post either on the fridge and the wall with the shortcuts that I have found to be super helpful. So that's the one thing that you'll find every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we'll have a different kind of handout sheet that'll be really good for you to grasp up on, and it'll kind of go along with the theme of what's being cooked. So this Tuesday we won't have one. We'll just do something very basic today, and then we'll talk about that on the next coming week. So we have at least a good 6 or 7 weeks with this new baby here, the Instant Pot. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on so you guys can see it. And as you guys know, they do have different levels, they do have different sizes. It's just really depending on what fits best and what works best for you. I have went to the Instant Pot website, and they have a graph of what each type of Instant Pot does and what it has. They do have some previous years. They are a little bit cheaper. This one ended up costing me $129. To me right now, with the recipes that I've tried, it is worth every penny of $129. So I'm going to stop talking and rambling about Instant Pot, but I wanted to give you guys a good rundown of what we're going to be doing, kind of what the Instant Pot comes with. You'll be learning with me, along with me, as we go through the paces of the Instant Pot. Tonight we're going to be using the saute feature and the pressure cooker feature. And then also we're going to be using the oven. And there's a reason why we're going to be using that, because this cannot replace an oven. And it can't replace what we're going to use the oven for. So, all right guys, so we're going to go ahead and turn this puppy on. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on saute. So I'm just going to hit the button. And then I'm going to turn it, so saute. And then I want to saute for 6 to 7 minutes. And then you're going to, oh, and I have a puppy. I'm going to saute for 6 to 7 minutes. And then once you leave it there, it should click over and say on. And it's going to beep at you, if you could hear that. And it's going to start warming up, okay? So, what we're going to make tonight, I'm going to get directly into what we're making. We're going to make an Instant Pot egg roll bowl. Tonight, I'm only going to show you how to make the filling. We're not going to get into the rice because that's a whole nother component of this, but we're going to make the inside of the egg roll bowl, the meat, which tonight we're using pork, and then we're going to use, so tonight we're going to use ground pork. We need a pound of ground pork. I don't know if you guys see these at the store. Yes, I went to H-E-B. We're going to ignore that. But they have these coleslaw bags. You're going to need 2 of those. And then what you're going to do is throw away the coleslaw kit. You're going to throw away the dressing because you don't need that. But this is just a quick way. So you need 2 of these. Okay. Tonight, I just call it I would call it the easy carb friendly version of the egg roll bowl, just because it's not going to be wrapped in the form of an egg roll. It's just the ingredients and how it's going to end up working out. All right, so it's still on. Once it says hot, it'll actually say hot, and that's when you can pour it in. So the one thing I'm going to go ahead and do is pour my olive oil into the Instant Pot. The one thing that I have found that I love so much about the Instant Pot is that I can actually saute with this open. The last one, can you deliver to Tulsa? Probably not delivering to Tulsa, but I will be there to visit. The one thing I love so much is that this Instant Pot does not require you to keep the lid on. I love that a lot because that way it keeps me from actually having to do too many things or dirty up too many dishes. So I can actually just leave everything directly in here. So this is the actual lid, and I'll place this back here. So also, what else you'll need for this, and I'll get it here. Also, what else you'll need is soy sauce. How about the promo pack? That's a little bit more reasonable, Cynthia. And then in here, I have ground ginger, salt and pepper, and garlic powder. So, and then what you guys didn't see is just the soy sauce. So I'll have that as well. And then I'll have chicken broth. That's going to be our liquid that's going to go in. So I hear the grease that is starting to, the grease that is actually starting to pop around in here. This warms up fairly quickly. I don't really have to wait very long, but just be prepared to be a little patient because it does take a little bit to warm up. And if you're switching in between functions, it may take a little bit of time to swap over. So this is what we're gonna, right now you're gonna see me saute up the pork. The one thing I love so much about this bowl is that you don't have to do the pork. You can do ground chicken, you can do ground turkey, however you imagine your egg roll to be is exactly how you can have it to be. If you want to do beef, then you can do that as well too. But tonight, I imagine my egg rolls at every turn with pork because I don't remember them any other way. At least in my mind, in my childhood, I just remember it being with pork. So you're gonna need a pound of ground pork. Again, guys, if you're using like less fatty meats like pork, ground chicken, you don't have to necessarily drain it off. But if you're using like ground beef, then you will need to drain the grease because you don't want that grease to stay in here. And that's a really quick thing. If you have a strainer then it's really going to be super easy just to kind of dump it and get it back in here so we can drain the grease completely off. You guys, you can find this in your local meat aisle. You know, it's nothing special. This is something that you can physically do. If you even get to the point, oh, okay guys, so you see how it's cooked over to hot? Let me grab my spatula. And you do want to get a spatula. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in here. Well, I was going to drop it in here, but now I'm going to drop it. Drop it in there. All right, and then what you're going to do is just go ahead and break it up. Okay? Go ahead and break it up. And this will start to brown fairly quickly. And be careful, guys, because it gets very hot very quickly. All right, so once you have that pork broken up, or whether it's turkey or whatever meat you decide to do, you're going to take your soy sauce. You're going to dump that in there. Okay? And then you're going to take your garlic powder, ground ginger, salt, and pepper, and you're going to go ahead and dump that in there as well, too. Okay? And then you just want to make sure that you mix this up. So if you wanted to have Chinese tonight, I sure wish you guys could smell it, because it definitely smells very Asian-y in here with the ground pork. I did notice, though, with the last time that I was testing this recipe out, I had a little grease that held in here, and I ended up not paying it that much attention. So if you do feel like you have some grease that comes up of this, please just go ahead and drain it out. That way you won't have any problems, okay? Hi, Desiree. As people are coming on in. Again, guys, this demonstration will be a little bit longer than normal tonight, just because it is a brand new item. We're walking through step by step, and you guys will be, you know, more than happy to kind of pause, come in and out as this meal goes. This meal from start to finish should be no more than 30-35 minutes. Okay? All right. Is there a substitute for soy sauce? Not really. You don't necessarily have to put it in there. You can just leave it out. You can just have just your normal spices, and that would work. Your normal spices that we use in here, that will work too. If you're, all right, so it's going, all right. You can just use your regular spices, and that'll still give you kind of that Asian feel. What's the deal with soy sauce? What is there a reason you can't eat soy sauce? Is it the sodium content? You're welcome. If it's the sodium content, guys, that keeps you away from the soy sauce, they do have sodium-free soy sauce. So just so you are aware of that, you can get like a sodium-free, or there's low-sodium soy sauce. Just leave it out if it's a big deal. That's not a big deal. So we are letting this go, and I want you guys to kind of see how it's going here. Dieting kind of, okay, yeah, that's understandable. So just leave it out. There's no big deal to it. And just use the spices. All right, guys, so this is about done. And here almost. And if you guys have a little pink that is still here, that's not a big ordeal. It's not gonna be a big problem, because it's still going to do some more cooking. So I just want you guys to realize that as well too. Substitute soy sauce, again, guys, if you can't eat it, that's fine. If the sodium is a problem, there's low sodium and there's sodium-free soy sauce. So, you know, feel free to use that as well, okay? All right, so we are about done. So what I'm going to start doing now is we have these 2 bags of coleslaw mix. For me, this just saves me from shredding. You know, we're going to be you know, you don't want to shred with your mandolin. You don't want to cut. You don't want to shred cabbage, red cabbage, carrots. You don't want to go through all that. This is just the quickest way for you to get that mimics the inside of what an egg roll would look like. Okay, and again, if you have these, you can get these in where the salads are, in the produce section. So the produce section is where you're going to get those. You're just, probably a bad thing that I'm throwing that away, but we don't have any use for it, just so you guys are aware we won't eat it. If you guys eat it, it will double as a kind of a good salad dressing if you want to keep it in and keep it going that way. Hi Kent, welcome. All right, so we're gonna get this ready and prepped to go. Again, guys, if you do eat this type of stuff, you can double this as a good salad dressing. We won't eat it here, so you won't see me using it. This is just my quick way of not having to chop and shred vegetables, okay? All right, guys, so we're done here, and I want you to see what's going on in here, okay? All right, and that cut off, but just so you can kind of see what the pork looks like. Again, if you don't eat pork, you are more than welcome. There's a ground chicken, there's a ground turkey, there's ground chicken, ground turkey, and there's ground beef that you can also use. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this here to see if it took on any oil. And what you guys want to do is make sure if you're gonna pull this out, do not use your bare hands because it is super hot. I'm just gonna look at it. I think we're good here. It didn't retain it's much grease. All right, so what we're gonna do next for the Instant Pot is we're gonna do the pressure cooker. So once this is browned and it's gonna go completely off like this, off, no problems. And as you guys see, I have puppies kind of walking around with me, so please try to, Oh, you can just get the shredded veggies without. Yes, you can. You could. The problem with that, and I don't even see it being a problem, is it might give you too much, so be prepared to figure out what to do with the excess if you get it like from Costco or Sam's or anything like that. All right, so I'm gonna take my ½ cup of chicken broth, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop this on in here. And this is my liquid. We're just gonna drop that on in there. And just make sure, again, this is off. We're gonna go ahead and dump the coleslaw mix in here like this. You don't want to mix this, guys. Do not mix this, just let it lay on top. Okay. All right, so it should look directly like this as you see it at in the pressure. I'm sorry, Instant Pot. It should look like this. Your meat should not be showing, and you should be able to see everything. So what you're gonna do now is put your lid on. And guys, forgive me, I can't put lids on backwards. We're gonna turn it on to pressure cooker. And in the new pressure cooker, hold on guys. In the new pressure cooker, I'll explain this here in a second as soon as I can get this on. Okay. So we're gonna lock it and you're gonna turn the pressure cooker. In the new pressure cookers, you're gonna put it on 0 minutes. And yes, it is a thing. That's something, it will take a minute for it to get to 0. So what I want you to do is put it on 0 minutes. Make sure your vent, as you can see up here, is on sealed because you want to make sure that the top of it is sealed. You don't want the air to leak out. You don't want any of that stuff to leak out. All right, so it's going to heat up. Let me make sure I'm not turning this off because I have a tendency to do that. And we're going to put that up here. And while that's going, guys, the recipe is pinned to the top if you guys are wanting your recipe. The next thing we are going to do is there's nothing like having egg rolls without the wonton wrapper or the egg roll wrapper, right? And so this is how we get pretty much the egg roll part of the actual bowl. We're gonna make wonton chips. So I got these out of, again, the produce aisle, and this is over like where the tofu is, and you can get this. So I tried this with egg roll skins, and then I also tried it with wonton skins. And what I noticed with the wonton skins, they were very thin and flimsy, and they would crack or break when I would put them into the oven. So the egg roll skins tend to hold up, and they give you that good crunch. This is a better way and a healthier way to eat it, to eat your egg roll skins. So this you got in the produce section. I found this by like the vegetarian tofu area. You can find that there, and I use the egg roll skins. And this has lasted me, I've tested this recipe now, this is number 4, and this has lasted me each time that I've done it. So this is a 16-ounce, 1 pound. What you want to do when you open it is make sure you get it back and seal it so it does not go bad. This has to stay refrigerated. So what you want to do is I'm going to show you guys here, and I'm going to do this. What you want to do is cut them into strips. As you can see, my strips are not the best, they're not the prettiest. There is no judgment here. When you're making these strips, you want to have salt and pepper, and then you want to have some olive oil. And what you want to do with these is first have your oven set to 400 because these are the things that you're going to put into the oven. And then you're just going to swipe these with your brush. Okay? And this is all you're going to do. And I learned very quickly in my household, these did not last very long. They were gone, and then Malia and David ended up fighting over them, which was not fairly pretty. So what you want to do is just make sure that you're swiping them, and these are going to be your egg roll wrappers that you would customary see when you have an egg roll. So you're just going to swipe them with olive oil, guys. If you don't have olive oil, you can use vegetable oil. There's definitely something you can do there. So you're just going to wipe them. And then you're just gonna turn them over, okay? And then you're just gonna do the exact same thing. So just flip them over. My pan is going everywhere. And when you guys cut these, you will notice like a powder on them. That's just cornstarch. It's just fine. Don't be concerned with that. It's normal. That's how they keep them from sticking in the package. So don't be concerned about that. And guys, if you can't get to the store and you don't have egg roll wrappers, you can just use, like, they have a package I think I saw in my store of like wonton chips. You can buy those as well if you want to skip this step. But you know, for me, it's all the fun of trying to figure out what else we can do. You can do that, or even if you have flour tortillas, you can use those as well too. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy egg roll skins. If you're not gonna use them again, then I wouldn't, you know. But just know you can make a lot of stuff with egg roll skins. That's a whole nother session. All right, so we got all those done. So what you want to do is just sprinkle those with salt and pepper. And there's no magic number to this. What you also need to be very careful with when you're doing these, guys, is when you put them in a 400-degree oven, these will crisp very fast. So you need to make sure that you keep an eye on these because they will turn brown very, 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 very quickly, and you don't want to burn these. I've done that already for you. So 3 to 5 minutes on 400 should get you exactly where you need to be. All right, so I've got my egg roll skins cut up. And however you guys decide that you want to cut these up is completely up to you. And we're still going here. It's on. So I'm gonna throw these in the oven. All right, guys. So those are in the oven. Your pressure cooker is still cooking. And so you have a little bit of time. I'm gonna be back and forth over here by the oven just to make sure that we don't have any burns, any issues. So you'll see me, I'll come over there. I'm gonna set my timer just so I won't burn anything in the oven. And you also are a good gauge of what your oven is like. So be very, very mindful of that as well. That way you won't burn anything. But if you burn anything, it's not the end of the world. Just start all over because you have a pound of, you know, Eggroll skins in the actual fridge. So this is still going, guys. It will, when I say 0 minutes, it is definitely 0 minutes because 0 minutes usually equals about 5 to 6 minutes. You'll start to hear it hiss a little bit. If you're you won't see it come out, but you can hear it start to kind of talk. And that's just the pressure building up within. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but that's just kind of the pressure building up into the Instant Pot. So be very careful. 0 minutes, guys, not anything else, because you want to watch that. You don't want to overcook or do anything to your vegetables to make sure that they're going to come out right. So we are about to that state. You'll start seeing a little steam come out here. Whatever you do, do not do this because it is very hot. You don't want to touch it or make any sudden moves because it will squirt in your face. As I learned the first time that I tried to do this, the hot condensation of the water went directly in my face. So it was definitely kind of one of those things that were going on. So I'm going to walk over here. If you guys have questions as I'm going through this, please feel free to ask them into the comment section. I can kind of talk in and out. You'll see this start to talk to you a little bit. But if you have questions about the Instant Pot, something that you feel like you've learned, or if you have one, please. Oh, and I'm sweating over here. I'm getting, my daughter's telling me I'm sweating. If you guys have an Instant Pot, I would love to know a little bit more about how you like yours, what things that you've learned from it. Kind of talk to me about that. Or if you're thinking about buying one, tell me about that as well. Do you think the series will kind of make or break that? I kind of want to hear feedback from you. If you have one, if you don't have one, if you've been thinking about it, kind of give me that feedback. And I'm going to run over here and check these wonton chips. All right. So we are just about done. I'm checking on this. The heat factor has gone off on my pressure cooker. So we're going to wait a little bit more time and it will start to come down. So 0 minutes, like I said, usually equals 5 to 7 minutes. So that's the reason why they have you put it on to have 0 minutes. So I'll be able to pull. What you also want to do is while this is going, you want to go ahead and cut up your wonton chips or your egg rolls or your tortilla things. If you guys want to do that, you want to skip the step, it's really up to you. And my alarm is going off, so I'm going to step over here again. All right, guys, so it's now at 0 minutes. It's beeping at me. There is no safe way to do this other than, so you'll see the steam releasing, and that's just to release, to let the steam out. Please, guys, when you're doing this, step away from the actual Instant Pot because I don't want you to burn yourself because I've already done that once. No questions? Nobody has Instant Pot? Nobody wants to tell me their experience with it? Anybody thinking about buying one? And what you'll also see with this is once you'll see it'll shoot out. There'll be some water condensation come out. And then the less and less the pressure cooker will start to release, and you'll stop hearing the pressure come out. Don't do that. It is very warm, very hot, and you don't want to mess with that. I have made some rice from earlier. We're not going to go into that, but there will be another whole session in making rice by itself. I made some fried rice with some vegetables in it, and that's what I'm going to serve it over. This is really good if you just want to serve it by itself. It's something, if you're like on a low carb diet, you can do it as well too. They also, guys, if the carbs are what's bothering you, they have low carb tortilla chips that you can make them into as well too. And I'm sorry I keep going into the camera. Alright, they're almost done. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open this. And as you guys will see, it has a counter. And that counter just lets you know how long that it's been there. And you'll hear it open and release. It'll make a noise. And so it's going to come out this way. I want to show you before I stir. So the vegetables will have steamed and cooked down. And then we'll actually pull these out. Alright, so these are what they look like when you pull them out the oven. They're nice and brown. They're ready for you to eat. They're very crispy. So no surprise there. Again, guys, if you don't want to do that, that's not a big deal. Alright, and we're just going to put that down there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a spoon, and we're going to go ahead and stir this up so you guys can see. Make sure when you're stirring this up in here, and you will see some liquid. You'll see that and the vegetables, and this is just a quick way to get this done. So you want to stir it up. Your vegetables are nice and steamed. They're not hard, which makes good egg roll filling. If you guys want, you can use this as egg roll filling if you want to go through the process of rolling and doing that. But I made some rice earlier, and so what I am going to do is just lay it on top of my rice, my fried rice that I made earlier. If you guys want to eat this plain and by itself, you are more than welcome to. The other cool thing about the Instant Pot is that you can set it to keep warm, and it will just actually keep your food completely warm. Alright, so we have our wonton chips or our egg roll wrappers, and I usually just put them over here on the side. And there you have your egg roll bowl. Again, guys, the egg roll bowl can be with or without rice. It can be with or without rice. It can be with quinoa if you're, on, a special diet. It can be whatever you want it to be at your bottom, steamed rice, brown rice, whatever you decide that you want to do. But that recipe from start to finish should take you less than 35 minutes. Tonight, it just ended up being a little bit longer because we had to talk a little bit longer. But that, all in all, is your complete egg roll bowl for tonight. This will go well. It has kept, I don't think it lasted 24 hours in my house, but it will last up to 3 to 5 days wrapped and sealed in a bowl if you want to do that. I would suggest that you keep your rice or whatever thing that you're going to serve it with separate them from this, because it won't heat up very well. So again, you have your egg roll bowl. These are optional for you to make. Again, this is a crispy, you just kind of, like they did, they just dip in there and they can eat it just like this with a chip. Kind of like chips and queso, except for Chinese or Asian style. And you can always get into the rice. But this makes it a complete meal with the actual rice. You guys, you can do the rice at a completely different time, I'm not going to show you guys how to do the rice tonight. We'll do that on a different day in a different setting. That is pretty much all I have for you guys tonight. As always, I'll be back here next Thursday with another instant pot meal. I keep wanting to say Instant Pot all day, but Instant Pot meal. And tell me what you think. Do you like the Instant Pot so far from what it can do? Do you think I should do a contest and give an Instant Pot away? Is that something you guys want to see happen? Are you thinking about buying this on your own? Again, give me some feedback if you guys have questions, comments, something that you didn't ask during the live feed that I didn't answer. Please feel free to leave it into the comments, and then I'll be able to see that and answer about as good as I possibly can. Again, total meal with wonton chips, 35 minutes tops, and then you should be good to go, because all this stuff is usually already pre-packaged and pre-portioned out for you, and you don't have to do anything but measure out your spices, your soy sauce, and then your chicken broth. So again, guys, I'm going to sign off here. As always, you can catch me here on Facebook. You can also catch me on Instagram. And I have not been on Snapchat lately since the new upgrade, but you are more than likely to catch me on those. And then also the recipes that you see here will always be on the blog, and you guys can access that at any time or any day. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. I hope you have a good night, and we will talk to you next week.